right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give this a couple of minutes as I see the participants are starting to come online. Right now, we are very happy to be joined by our Lieutenant Governor, Sabina Matos. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Secretary of Commerce, Liz Tanner, is here with us today. U.S. Small Business Administration District Director, Mark Hayward, is with us today. Laura McNamara, the East Providence Area Chamber of Commerce representative, is here with us today. Laura, thank you.
Thank you.
And Lori White, the president of the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, is also on here with us today. And Patricia Rosendi, our communications director, is here. We thought it would be an important matter to get all of these people together so we can discuss with the community, especially small businesses, ways that we may be able to assist them because of the sudden closure of the Washington Bridge. We've heard from a lot of residents and from some of the businesses that they have been financially impacted. And I know that one of the first people to reach out to me was Secretary Tanner and Lieutenant Governor Matos asking how they could help. So I said the best way to help is for you to communicate directly with the community and try to answer their questions and give them some background. So I'm going to start with Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, and then we'll go over to Secretary Tanner and then to Mark Hayward. But Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for hosting this community forum. We used to do several of this during the pandemic when we were dealing with COVID. So we're all back here to address this challenge. And the important thing is so the silver line is that we have done this before and we already know how to come together and answer the need of the business community. But thank you for hosting this conversation. I want to just remind everyone that we have to make the decision, the governor and the director of Department of Transportation have to make the decision because the alternative would be to put life at risk. And we will never do something like that. I know that there has been a lot of inconvenience for the people traveling and driving, but we're doing everything we can to improve the conditions out there. Actually, the bypass that is going to be open, originally it was informed that we were going to take 2 weeks to open this bypass traffic using 195 East to go west in 2 lines. And as we heard during the press conference today, it's going to happen by this weekend. That is a great news. That's going to help us a lot. And the most important thing, we want to remind all of you that we have the safety of the residents of the state of Rhode Island as a priority. And we're here to answer any questions and to make sure we provide the information that you need. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. Also, for the people online, we have approximately 80 participants right now registered. You can use the Q&A chat feature if you have a specific question, but let us get through the panelists first, and then we can open it up to questions. Secretary Tanner. You're muted, Secretary. Hold on.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Happy to be on here with some great chamber presidents and, of course, the Lieutenant Governor, who's such an advocate for small businesses with her Small Business Advisory Council. And, of course, Director Hayward, who I've been talking to shortly after I reached out to you, Mayor De Silva, on the night that we found out. I just have some information that I'll share, and then I'm happy to take the questions. And so there's a question there about state of emergency. I'll get to that when I get down. Long story short, we've been at this for just over 24 hours now. Very much been in touch with the mayors, the SBA, the governor's office, and of course, other agency directors multiple times at this point. The Commerce Corporation very quickly set up a team of people to handle the crisis. Doris Blanchard, who is on this call, she's our emergency services connection. She's been doing that for many, many years. She's on this call, and she's our main contact for all questions. We also have our communication staff working to address any questions that come up. We very quickly set up our helpline, 521-HELP, HELP, for any businesses who have questions or want to make sure that they can receive the most up-to-date information. We also set up a webpage on our website, commerceri.com. That's commerceri.com. That will also provide you with the most up-to-date information. And we're starting to push out information on social media. We're doing calls like this, but if you are a member of an organization or a merchants association or a networking group that you would also like to have me or one of my staffers come to talk more specifically about your specific needs, I'm more than happy to do so. At this time, we are doing our research to hear from businesses, to hear what their needs are. We have started the process to be able to apply for an emergency declaration so that SBA loan funding can be released. Today, District Director Hayward went up and down streets in Wayland Square to be able to apply. So what that does is now that those applications are submitted to the State Emergency Management Office, there's paperwork that they have to do. That will then go to the governor. If it hasn't already gone today, it will go to him tomorrow. He then needs to sign it. Once he signs it, it has to go to the federal government. I spoke with Administrator Guzman, who runs the SBA for the entire country, just a few hours ago, and she has said she'll sign it within 24 hours. So we hope to have this signed in this program at least up and available at some point in the next few days. I don't want to steal Mark's thunder, but they'll be setting up a business recovery center where businesses can physically go to be able to get this information. If you don't want to go to the physical location, all of that information will be available at the Commerce Corporation via Endorse Blanchard is your main contact for that, so that you can receive that. These are loans. These are 3.5% loans. We are also looking at other options that would be available to businesses because this is not this crisis was not caused by an act of God or an accident. There are a lot less options for us, but we are not giving up until we're making sure that every stone is unturned. And so those calls and those inquiries are happening right now. What's really important is for us to hear from businesses to understand what problems they're having. There's been a couple of things that we've been able to work on. We've been able to work on some parking assistance to increase the ability for businesses where parking used to be able to happen on the street and it's no longer able to. We've been having conversations about allowing businesses to be able to make their deliveries outside of regular hours or at potential central locations. So there's things like that happening, but we need to hear from you as to what you're experiencing and how we can try to help you. One question that I have been receiving from certain businesses who may have received an SBA loan in the past, they've been asking, can I get another SBA loan? And the answer is yes, that you can. So I just want to call that out for business as well. But we're really trying to get out the message, and you'll start to really see it in our social media. And I've been saying it since the first time we were on. The Lieutenant Governor brought it up again today, but you know, we are Rhode Islanders and Rhode Islanders take care of Rhode Islanders. And so now more than ever, we have to support our local businesses. We have been constantly pushing, don't cancel your holiday plans, don't cancel your dinner reservations, shop small, shop local. And so that's what you're going to hear from us. That's what we're pushing as hard as we possibly can. So that's sort of the general overview of what we're doing. But please, 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 we need to hear from you as to what your specific needs are and how we can help you. With that, I'll turn it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Secretary. And just to remind, I know that the Lieutenant Governor touched on this, but we heard today from the Director of the Department of Transportation that the bypass line, bypass lanes that will take people from 195 across the bridge on the 195 east side, eastbound bridge, that should be opening by this weekend, which will dramatically change what's happening on our local streets. Right now, all traffic coming on 195 is being diverted through 3 different detours, one of them being here in East Providence, the other one that kind of leads people into East Providence. So it's kind of creating this gridlock situation. Today's movement of traffic was 1,000 times better than yesterday's movement of traffic. So we've already seen significant improvements. But I feel the pain of our small business community and our residents, and that's why we're having this meeting. I want to turn it over, before we start answering questions, I see questions popping up, but before we start answering questions, I want to turn it over to United States Small Business Administration District Director, Mark Hayward.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Well, Liz has basically covered 95% of the issues as it relates to the Small Business Administration, and we continue to monitor, and we accept it. If anybody else is interested in submitting what we call the economic injury disaster worksheet, we're more than happy to take that. And I'll be talking to the mayor with our hope that we'll have at least some days within the city of East Providence once the Business Recovery Center is set up and that coming down the line. The other thing that I just wanted to mention that Liz did not, and that is technical assistance. We have volunteers from SCORE, from the Small Business Development Center, as well as the Center for Women in Enterprise. If you need assistance at this point in time, or you need assistance in helping to apply for any SBA financial assistance, we have people that are willing to help. So we're here, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, and I'm happy to answer them, Mayor.
And I know one of the things that is required to apply for an SBA disaster small loan program is you need to have documentation of people or businesses that have lost revenue. I know that our office put out a form. Patricia, if you can share that in the chat, we put out a form where small businesses can report how they've been impacted by this situation, so that we have that on record and we can submit it to Mark Hayward and to Secretary Tanner. What we'll do is we'll create an Excel spreadsheet, and we'll send it over to Secretary Tanner and Mark Hayward so that they have your information and they can communicate directly with you. I want to turn it over to Laura McNamara from the East Providence Area Chamber. Laura, if you want to chime in before we start answering questions.
Sure. I just want to thank everybody for your quick and proactive response to this crisis. We had good practice with this during the pandemic, and so we're ready to go, and boots on the ground. East Providence Chamber is there for our businesses, so I can serve as the face of the chamber for now, and also get the word out to the business community as well as our members. And then also I have access to Lieutenant Governor and Secretary Tanner and others. So if you have any questions, you don't want to call them directly, you can contact me through the chamber's website and our voicemail and email. I'd be glad to help you out.
Very good. And now I'll turn it over to Lori White, who is the president of the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you very much, Mayor and colleagues and distinguished guests. Thank you for including us in today's call, and we hope to be able to have an opportunity, Mayor, to feature you on our Chamber TV as well in the coming days and weeks as your schedule permits. So in terms of impact, we have been really pleased to be able to talk with the Mayor of the City of Providence, as well as Secretary Tanner from Commerce, to get direction from each of them on steps that businesses in Providence should take, members should take to document their losses. We too have been walking around talking to businesses up on the east side, on Wayland Square, which is mostly ground zero for this particular situation from this side of the bridge. Couple of observations. First, a woman who is a store owner on Wayland Square said, it's a first for her. She was in her shop and a 40-foot boat went past her front windows, and she said it occupied the entire window spans. And in the 50 years that she's been in business, she has never seen a boat go past her window. She did have the opportunity to speak with some representatives from the federal government, also the state and the city, regarding the EIDL loans. But one caveat that she mentioned was reluctance to take on debt, even at 3.5%. So she was wondering and querying as to whether or not there would be any potentially any grant funding downstream, and I recognize that has to do with the federal declaration that we were talking about earlier. But again, we see our role at the chamber as conduits to the membership and vice versa from the membership to our elected officials, and also to our resource providers, our very valued resource providers, and to keep the flow of communication open. Additionally, the member businesses on Wayland Square were thrilled today to hear the news that potentially some of the traffic and the boats going down the main drag in Wayland Square would potentially be mitigated when the other side of the bridge opens up hopefully this weekend. So she said that that was fantastic news. Really excited and hopeful that we don't get too far into the holiday season, the holiday shopping season. And again, another way that consumers can help support businesses in Providence and in East Providence that are truly impacted is to find ways to perhaps patronize their businesses by purchasing online. And also hoping that there will be additional parking that opens up contiguous to these businesses so that people can shop in person as well. So we remain optimistic, and we are hopeful to be able to continue the work with you, Mayor, and the rest of the team. So thank you for including us.
Thank you, Lori. I'm gonna take a look at some of the questions. Patricia, were you able to load that link? No? I don't know why we're
No,
having it.
unfortunately, Mayor, I'm not able to I can see all the questions. I cannot post it. So what I'll do is I will email the link to all the participants after the Zoom.
And that link will allow you to self-report any type of issues and how you've been impacted so that we can send that information to Secretary Tanner and to Director Mark Hayward so that they can stop processing any type of applications they need to get funding. By the way, I just want to recognize the fact that I did get calls from Senator Whitehouse's office, Senator Reed's office, and Congressman Gabe Amo and Seth Magaziner. They are all trying to help the small business community by putting political support behind the SBA making those funds available. I know that a lot of people are looking for direct grants. I don't know if that's going to be something that will eventually come up or become a reality. Secretary Tanner, have you heard any talk about the potential of direct grants happening?
So there would have to be a programmatic aspect to that, and there is not a program that currently exists. I am looking at the questions and answers. There was a question about ARPA funds. Those would have to be legislatively designated, so that wouldn't be able to happen until the legislature came back sometime next year. So that makes it a little more challenging. The EIDL program is the fastest program that can get set up in this circumstance, and so that's the one that we're focused on right now. But again, we are looking at other possibilities, both state and municipal wide, and we'll be back in touch when we have more information on that.
Okay. Thank you. And I see one of the questions here. I mean, Lori was talking regarding her businesses on Wayland Square. She represents Providence. We have been doing outreach to businesses here in East Providence, and that's what this meeting is all about. We have 85 people registered here. We understand that most of them are small businesses. This just got dropped on us on Monday afternoon. Monday afternoon, we were informed by the DOT that they had a catastrophic situation with the bridge. They had to shut it down, and they shut it down at 5. So we had about 2 hours notice. And here we are. It's Wednesday at 5:20 p.m. and we're trying to work with our small businesses to get them the relief that they so deserve. And I'm happy to hear that DOT with their contractors are doing all they can to get that bypass to open up. Once the bypass opens up on the bridge, you will not see the type of congestion and the impact that you're having in our local community, because it's going to be just like before when they were doing the construction on the bridge and they only had 2 lanes open, maybe a few months ago. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to have 2 lanes open, taking traffic out of here, and you will not be dealing with the situation that you dealt with yesterday and today. And I even think that today's situation is far better than it was yesterday. It's improved quite a bit. But let's try to answer people's questions. Secretary, if you want to take a look at some of these things.
We answered the one about the ARPA funding. The question about how to track. So, it depends on what ability you have to track. So some people are able to look at what they did last year on this day. If you're not able to do that, you could compare it to, any other December month, or, how business was in the last few weeks. So we are asking you to track what your losses are. If there's expenses associated with it, include those. But at some point we will come to you, and if you want to apply for those programs, they'll need to have that. So definitely document what your losses and what your expenses are, to the best of the ability. Everybody's got different kinds of businesses. And as far as going on, Mayor De Silva and I are coming to East Providence to see businesses on Friday. I am an East Bayer. So we'll be on that side of the bay that day.
Yes, we are planning on visiting some local businesses in person to have conversations with people on the ground. Let's take the questions one at a time and see if we can have panelists help answer. We spoke about the declaration of emergency that's been discussed. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. I hear people talking about not wanting loans. We understand that. We need to see if there's some type of program that will come up where we have funding to take care of businesses impacted by that. There's an anonymous attendee reports that they've been impacted by traffic. Yes, we understand that's the main impact that's been affecting a lot of our businesses, and we hope that with this bypass opening up on Saturday, that things will change dramatically. And I see Eileen Harvey, who owns a wonderful bar restaurant here, is being impacted by it. I know this is a time of year where people are depending on holiday parties as a source of revenue. Eileen, I'd like to talk to you offline because I think one of the biggest problems is you're right along the detour route. I don't know if there's something we can do to try to help you more immediately, but we'll talk offline and see if we can get. And actually, Lieutenant Governor, did you want to answer this? Sorry, go ahead.
Eileen, I really would like to get your contact information so we can help you and get you more details on how we can assist you. So we're gonna be adding also my email in the answer, so you can please email us directly because we want to help you and assist you. Okay.
And I see from Romani Orthodontics on Broadway, one of our valued small businesses, and they're having an issue with patients not being able to get to them. We totally understand that you are on that main road. We'd be happy to have a conversation with you, but I am trying to make assurances that once this bypass opens up, this will disappear. So the initial conversation was this was going to take 3 weeks to get the bypass open. And 3 weeks would be devastating on small businesses. 2-3 days is devastating on small businesses. I get that. But that 3-week time frame is no longer in the equation. And the work to replace the bridge, the damage, or not to replace the entire bridge, but to fix the damaged parts of the bridge will take about 3 months, but that will not impact, will not create the kind of impact that we've seen yesterday and today on local businesses. So I just want people to understand that and to realize that what we saw yesterday and what some of the stuff we're seeing today, should they open up that bypass by Saturday, you will no longer see that. So that's a positive. Trying to see if there's any other questions that we could try to answer. Elaine Bronhart, and I'm the director and head of school, Tiger Lily Montessori School, a nonprofit on Hope Street. We just bought a building, expanding our school to be located in East Providence. The issue that we are having is families being able to drive and drop their kids off at our school with all this traffic. I live in EP and I have to be at school at 4 a.m. All right, so do me a favor, Montessori School, we're gonna look up, Patricia, just make a note. We'll touch base with them offline to see if there's something we could do. We can absolutely have a conversation with our police department to see if we can, if it's because the road is blocked, see if we can't allow traffic to get to the local business, in your case, your school. You should be aware that this morning, I did take a ride with the governor through the city of East Providence at 8:30 in the morning, and we were able to get around rather easily. And that was 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:15, we were driving around and we were able to get through the very congested areas rather quickly. I'm hoping that things will even be better tomorrow. So let's see if that becomes a reality. But we will get in touch with you offline to see if we can help you. Lisa Rigo. Let's see what Lisa has to say. Lisa says, senior living, we have had clients cancel because of their appointments in EP and don't want to travel in traffic. We have caregivers who can't get to their clients in a timely manner. We have had caregivers who couldn't get or rip the bus yesterday, so she missed a day of pay and lost a day of scheduled clients. Yesterday was an absolute gridlock situation throughout the entire city of East Providence. That was yesterday. But today, things were much different. And I think knowing what we know now, I think clients and employees need to work in a little extra time for travel. I think that's probably, I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but I think that's something that we need to do is work in a little extra time for travel, understanding that we're facing this situation. Like I said earlier today, I drove over the Henderson Bridge to Providence, and I was able to make it to my destination within 20 minutes. And it wasn't bad. And it was, you know, it wasn't as bad as it was the day before. It was still bad, but not as bad as the day before. Let's see what it says here. Anonymous, how do we know that the eastbound lanes aren't broken? I think the DOT has inspected it. Lieutenant Governor, can you answer
Yeah.
that?
Yes, I wanted to answer that one. So the conference that we had, we heard from the director of the DOT, Alviri. Once this was discovered on Friday, they sent a team to go and analyze the situation. If there was any risk to the other side, we would have known that. So if we continue to have the other side of the bridge open, it's because we are confident that is in good condition. So we will not open that, we will have closed the bridge completely. So we have faith in the experts and the engineers that are working at DOT.
And Liz, I mean, Megan Laster, you know, she mentioned she's got a doggy daycare. How are we supposed to do online business? I mean, I know every situation can't meet every business's needs. I don't know if you have the ability, and we ask people in our community to support small businesses, whether it's buying a gift certificate or you know, somehow buying a gift for somebody in the future. I mean, that might be a way that you can help people online. If you have a means for people to do that, we'd be happy to share that information out on our website to get that information out to the people. Derek Mendoza is asking about more transparency
Hey, by the way,
behind.
I'm back. I got knocked off, but I'm back on.
Thank you, Director. Nice to see you. Let's see. Derek Mendoza is asking for transparency about plans for road closures, ramps. I mean, we have a link, Patricia. We have a link on our website that kind of lays all that out. Can you explain that to the people?
Yes, correct. We have the emergency alert that links to all the updated information from Rhode and our office with maps.
And that's on there. And, you know, Derek, just so you know, the very first day this happened was on, we were informed about this urgent situation on a Monday at around 3 o'clock. And by 5 o'clock, you know, within 2 hours, we had to react. And I think we did the best we could under that short notification. And then what we did is we reassessed the situation and we made changes. So there were no firm, you know, detours 100% in place, because what we did is yesterday we reassessed the whole situation and we made some changes so that things could move more smoothly. Let's see, trying to see. Natalie, I think Natalie Natalie's the owner of a new business that just opened up. And I know as a new business owner, you invest your whole life into something. And now this happens all of a sudden. Natalie owns the Myrtle on Waterman Avenue that's impacted by traffic. Natalie, I'll be happy to talk to you offline. And I know that your business has been impacted, but we hope that by this weekend, with that bypass lane, what you're seeing outside your door will not be happening. If we can try to help you recoup some of the losses that you have had to deal with over this period of time, that's why we're here. We want to work with Commerce RI and the Small Business Administration to see what resources are available. Director Hayward, you have your hand up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mayor, I just, first of all, on Natalie, we have the technical assistance people that are available to help her as well. They're all experts and they're all free of charge, so they can help her get through those, whatever questions. And on the other side, there was some comments about grants. The SBA does not have grants. Statutorily, we don't have grants. We do have low interest loans that will become available once we have an administrative declaration. But I just wanted to make that abundantly clear because sometimes there's confusion when there's mention that there are grants available not through the SBA. I'm not sure if they're available in other places, but our moving forward will be to provide low interest loans to the community.
And Patricia, you're seeing some of the people are putting down their phone numbers here, so make sure you're jotting that down for me, please, so we can
course.
give them a call. Susan Chase, I mean, she owns she's one of the owners of, well, she is the owner of the United Skates, and she's saying that they've experienced at least $10,000 to date in revenue loss because of canceled group outings, because a lot of the schools were not participating, and schools for both East Providence and Providence. And Susan, once again, I'm just going to reiterate what we just said. If we can find a way to help you with the funding gap, we'll try to work closely with our state and federal partners to see what we can do for you. Let's see what else we got here. Tom Brunn, Route 95 pass is in place. How many lanes will be eastbound? So Tom Brunn is asking about the, I keep losing people because new messages keep coming in, and I lost the message. Hold on. All right, Tom Brunn.
Mayor, you
the
want me
one,
to take that one?
yes, go right ahead.
Go through? So and I think this is lost. For some reason, it's not the number one headline that's out there right now, but starting this weekend, there will be 2 lanes going in both directions. So that will dramatically change everything starting in just a couple of days. So I think that's gotten lost in a lot of the media that's come out today. So there should be dramatic changes by, say, Monday, Tuesday of next week, because there will be 2 lanes going in each way. Now it's still 2 lanes instead of the 3. And, I think we're still trying to figure out what that's going to look like. But the point is you're going to have 2 going each way. So the majority of people who aren't sure how to get over the highway and they're following their GPS to go over the Henderson, that should be alleviated. Now, I think you're still going to have some traffic, but I think it's going to be dramatically different than it is right now. And so that starts this weekend. So things should change dramatically by then.
Great answer. And Tom, I hope that helped clarify things. Steve Costa, who is the owner of Rose's Tavern, one of my favorite restaurants to visit, is claiming that the side streets have closed. The reason we closed the side streets and we saw a dramatic impact on the flow of traffic is people were all trying to take shortcuts down side streets, and then they were creating bottlenecks that created a complete disaster yesterday. So we made the call to close off side streets just to local residents who live there. However, I am going to communicate to our personnel that if someone's coming to a local business, that they should be allowed to enter the side street. What we don't want to happen is what happened on day 1 of this incident, where pretty much you had all of the neighborhoods, all of the residents in complete gridlock. People could not exit their own driveways, and they were stuck there for hours. So we were trying to avoid that. And by closing those side streets, we have been able to avoid that. Today was dramatically different than yesterday. Let me see. Jessica Medeiros is saying that customers don't want to come to the burrito bowl out of fear of getting stuck there. Will that road be expected to be open? Yes. You will see the road once again. Once the 2 bypass lanes get open, you will see a dramatic change in the traffic moving. Schools were distance learning today. Marco mentions that schools were distance learning today. We feel that the plan that the school department has put in place to allow for people to get dropped off earlier and for the staggered dismissal time, you will have minimal to no impact. Just everyone should be aware that I drove and inspected the highway from Pawtucket Avenue, looking down the highway throughout the day. There was hardly any traffic coming from Massachusetts. People have learned from their experience yesterday, and they're taking alternate routes. So we did not have the level of traffic. As a matter of fact, I was shocked at 2 different points. Early in the morning, and then later in the afternoon, I went and inspected, and there were there was no vehicles backed up on that 195 coming from Seekonk. So I think people learned, and they took alternative routes. Let me see if so we can keep going on here. I too own a business on North Broadway. Most roads to my business are closed. Help me understand why. The reason why we closed North Broadway at Roger Williams Avenue, and we had the police department and DPW experiment with opening that road, to allow traffic to continue. The issue you get is everybody that's coming off the highway is being directed onto Broadway north to Massasoit Avenue, where they're making a left turn onto Massasoit Avenue and then getting over to Henderson Bridge. We were trying to get vehicles to come down North Broadway south by making a right-hand turn at Roger Williams Avenue, and that was causing tremendous gridlock. It was not helping the situation. It was causing both sides of the road to become jammed up, and it was creating more problems. So that is why we are not allowing vehicles to come down Broadway from Roger Williams Avenue towards Massasoit, because that creates further gridlock. However, our police department and the people working that detail post have been instructed that if you are going to visit a local business, or if you are going to visit, or if you're going to your home, then they're to allow you to go in. So all I would do is tell your customers that they can just tell the officer that they're coming to visit business A, business B, whatever it is, and they will let them get by to their business. Let me see. I hear Megan last. I mean, she's on Valley Street, and she has a lot of traffic going on there. We will take a look at that situation and see what we can do to make that better, Megan. We'll try our best. Let's see. The new Rotary has affected our clients' ability to get to us. Now with North Broadway shut down, it's nearly impossible. Do we know when North Broadway? Yeah, North Broadway will be open once the bypasses on the highway open up. So once those bypasses are open, you're going to see a dramatic difference. Savannah Osborne just opened a hair salon on Warren Avenue 2 months ago. We have had over 15 cancellations in the past 2 days. The exit to Warren Ave gets so backed up, you can't even turn off at the exit. Clients are missing entire appointments, being stuck in traffic, unable to park in front due to the traffic. I did drive by Warren Avenue earlier today, and I saw traffic flowing. That was early in the morning, and then later around lunch, around 8:30, I saw traffic flowing. I don't know if things have changed to make things better for you, Savannah, but we will take a look at that situation also to see if there's more that we can do. I do know that this is a situation we're trying to deal with. And please document all of these losses on the link that we're sharing so that we can forward this to Mark, and then hopefully we can try to get you some relief one way or the other. Amelia, what immediate relief can be offered to micro small businesses in EP? Many of us are trying. I mean, we can. Amelia, I know some people are talking about why don't we take the city ARPA funds to give as grants to people. That's been discussed, but that would, with the amount of businesses that have potential impact from Riverside all the way to Rumford, when you break that all down, we would probably have very little to give out to businesses in the way of actual relief. A lot of that money's been committed for other projects by the council, and I mean, it's something that we're willing to look at. But you're talking about multiple businesses. If we were to open up a program and to dedicate funds towards that program, I guarantee you that you would have all the businesses in the city of East Providence who were impacted apply, and that would dwindle down the amount of money and the financial impact that would make on any particular business. So we will absolutely take a look at that, but it's not like we have a large, unencumbered sum of funds available to just give away as grants to small businesses that were impacted by the situation. So we will look at all options. I just think it's going to be a difficult sell to open up a program where we're trying to address the needs, because we would have to open it up to every single business, and it would be a situation that would deplete that money rather quickly. Anonymous attendee, do you expect this to get repaired with the same level of urgency as 195? Yes, I mean, Lieutenant Governor, you want to talk about what was discussed earlier today?
Yes, today during the press conference, we heard from the governor, also from Director Aviti. Right now, this is the priority, #1 priority for the state of Rhode Island. The governor has directed all departments, and especially the Department of Transportation, to prioritize reopening 195. even if that means taking personnel or equipment from other projects. The only thing that's gonna take priority, as he said, would be anything that is life or death. That any resources, every resources of the state are dedicated to reopening 195.
Thank you for that answer. And I know that, I mean, you're talking about if they do open that bypass lane by this weekend, you're talking about a 5-day, 6-day period. That's a pretty fast turnaround. I don't even think the situation in Philadelphia, I think that it was 12 days to do the temporary bypass for them. So this is something that's being dealt with the highest urgency. The governor has said so. He's taking all resources to try to fix the situation, and DOT director also is doing what he can. Let's see. Will there be police presence? Yes, we're going to have extra police presence. Yes, Secretary.
Mayor, unfortunately, I need to drop to get to another call.
Thank you.
wanted
Thank you,
to-
Secretary.
Yes, and so Doris Blanchard did put her information on there. Doris, if you're still on, if you could put it on again, or go to our website, or feel free to call our helpline. But thank you very much for the opportunity. We're happy to come back at any time when we have more information.
Thank you, Secretary. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mary Santana, she has a couple of businesses on, I'm very familiar with her businesses over on Waterman Avenue. And she's saying traffic today wasn't in gridlock. We had cancellations with clients, classes because of the changes. Now that tomorrow school opens again, will there be police helping the traffic? These past 2 days, business is down 80%. Yes, we will have police. By the way, the DOT committed approximately 36 of their trucks and their personnel to help us control traffic along the detour route. So that's going to free up some of our DPW people, but police will be on hand to also help move traffic along. Mayor Robert Brittle, who's our senator from East Providence, is the Henderson Bridge open? Will it remain open through this crisis? It seems impossible to access the bridge by North Broadway. Yes, the bridge is open, Senator, and we went over it early today. As a matter of fact, when I leave here, I'll probably go on our Facebook Live so we can take a ride through and see how things look, just to let the community see firsthand what we're seeing. But yes, the bridge is open. Let's see what else we have here. Any other questions? When will Warren Avenue exits open? I think the Warren Avenue exits will probably be open as soon as the bypasses are in place. The reason why we turned off or we closed Warren Avenue right now is to keep additional traffic from coming into what was a main point of travel during the route. So we had to, unfortunately, close that. Is it possible to have signage saying residents and local businesses only so that people aren't as deterred on those closed roads? We have put up signs. We actually had to print up these signs. We have a machine that prints up these signs. Our DPW staff came in early morning hours on Tuesday or Monday into Tuesday, and they were printing, I forget how many signs altogether, but they printed up quite a few signs to get them out in the community. Jennifer Cahoon asked, how will the ability for people to pass through closed roads to get to local businesses be communicated? We will, well, we're asking, we can put a post up on our social media and let people know. They just have to communicate it to the detail officer to let them know, and we'll let them get through so that they can get to the local business. I'm the head of school at Ocean State Montessori School in Grove Ave. Once the independent schools located on EP resume their winter break January, hundreds of cars will be added to traffic. Please keep that in mind. Yes, we hope Amy Andrews, who is the head of school at Ocean State Montessori School, a great school here in the city of East Providence. By January 2nd, we anticipate that we will be back to pre-bridge closing conditions. So once we get that those 2 lanes open and running, we will be in good condition. How about an abatement of our water bills, Ernie? I don't know how you can tie a water bill to this situation. We can take a look at that. But we will, if that's something that helps, we'll take a look at it. But at the same time, the city does have an enterprise fund and relies on people paying their water bills to be able to maintain our water system and operate a water system. So we will have to take a look at that. Jeffrey Cashin, do you know an approximate time? Yes, we mentioned that. We think it's gonna be open by Saturday. We can't say for certain when it's gonna open. We're hearing by the weekend. It could be Saturday, it could be Sunday, it could be Friday. So these guys are really working hard. And I say guys, I meant guys and ladies are working hard to get this bridge open. So we should see it open. Let's see. What are the plans to continue to monitor ongoing impacts of this closure on for a nonprofit business over the duration of this project? Once we see the bridges open, we'll gladly continue the conversation with our community. We'll be happy to have another follow-up Zoom so we can bring updates. We'll love to invite the Lieutenant Governor to be part of that so she can bring updates on what has transpired. I think this is a good way to communicate. Like I said, we had at one point 80 some odd participants, so that's good news to get that information out to the community. By the way, I don't want to monopolize this, so if you guys see a question you want to answer, by all means. Director Mark Hayward, is there anything you want to add that maybe I'm missing?
I was trying to answer a couple of the questions that were in the chat, Mayor, which not really. I mean, again, keeping good records. If individuals are looking for the potential of a disaster loan once, hopefully we get a declaration soon, then we're happy to help and work with them. And I'll be calling you tomorrow about potential on a business recovery center.
And what we're doing is on our website, eastprovinceri.gov, we have at the top of the website a red bar. If you click on that, it has all the resources. Patricia updates that on a regular basis. Patricia, am I missing anything that you want to share with the community? Because we're running on approximately an hour on this call.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just after, because I wasn't able to add the link both from Rhode Island Commerce as well as our form, I will send all the attendees who registered for this Zoom a link, both of those links via email.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just wanted to add, the Secretary Tanners early on provided the phone number where the business can reach out Commerce and let us know how they're being affected. The number again is 521-HELP. And if you're like me, you like the actual number is 521-4357, 521-4357. Doris Blanchard is connected here. She's been monitoring all the questions and she has shared her contact information also. Doris Blanchard from Commerce, her number is 401-278-9127. 401-278-9127. But as the Director Hayward said, the most important thing is for you to document any business loss that you have, that we're gonna need that information. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's a question about when will the new exit to Waterfront Drive open? I don't have a timeline on that. And I think it's going to be probably, quite a few months. I don't think that's going to be opening up anytime soon, but it's making a lot of progress and I've seen it make a lot of progress. So we're happy to see it happen. Hello, I'm one of the owners of the Broadway Diner. The road closed sign on Roger Williams Avenue in North Broadway should say local business only instead of stopping people from coming into the restaurant. Mike, we will absolutely see if we can print up a new sign and put it up at that location so that residents know that they can come in for the local businesses. Broadway Diner is one of my favorite places. Maybe I'll stop by there tomorrow for breakfast. It's one of my favorite breakfast places. So we don't want to see you suffer, and we don't want to see any small business suffer. We know this is a very difficult time for all of you, for all of our residents. It's a situation that had to happen, unfortunately, because we don't want to see a bridge collapse where we lose people's lives. So the director did what he had to do. I know that we all understand that, and we're dealing with it as effectively as we can. It's Wednesday at 6 p.m. This was dropped on us on Monday at 3 p.m. So all of the state, federal, local partners are working as diligently as we can to get things done. Let's see, Mayor, how about access to the Henderson Bridge from North Broadway? Do residents in the northern part of the city have to go through Pawtucket to get to the east side, yet commuters from Bristol have access to the Henderson Bridge? The issue with that, Senator Brito, is, I don't know if you were on earlier, we did try that. We opened up North Broadway at Center Street or North Broadway at Roger Williams, where they kind of meet there, to traffic coming south on North Broadway. And what was happening is it was creating a tremendous gridlock bottleneck situation that was not serving anybody. And it was creating more of a gridlock all the way along the route of Broadway up to the off-ramp. So what was happening is all that traffic was trying to come down North Broadway, and they're meeting up with all the traffic coming north on North Broadway, making a left turn onto Massasoit, and it was just creating a tremendous mess. So they have that traffic going around a different way to try to get to the Henderson Bridge a different way. I'll talk to you offline and see if there's something we can try to do more differently. That was one of my concerns, Senator, that, how are people going to access it from that part of the city? And we actually had them try it, open it up, and it just wasn't helping the situation. It was creating much worse problems for everybody. Yes, so the question is, will the roadblocks be lifted once the bypass opens? Absolutely. Once this bypass opens, what I anticipate happening is that we will go back to normal operations. You will have traffic traveling over the bridge like it was doing before, although in 2 lanes as opposed to 3. And you're going to see some congestion coming east on the highway now, because the eastbound lane is going to go from 4 lanes to 2 lanes. So there will be congestion if you're coming from, if you're coming from 195 from Providence into East Providence and into Seekonk, you're going to see some congestion into Providence, because they're now, it's coming down into 2 lanes. But once it's open, you will absolutely see all of the roadblocks throughout the city pretty much go away. I just want to end it by having everyone have an opportunity to say a few last words before 6 o'clock is here. And so let's go with, I see Laura McNamara has her hand up. Laura?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Greg Davenport for his comment. The chamber had our monthly luncheon yesterday at Davenport's, and we did not cancel. So we only had a few people that weren't able to show up because of the traffic, but we did proceed. It actually didn't even occur to me to cancel it. So we were happy to help Greg out with that. Also, for the people that are canceling their dinner reservations or their hairdresser reservations, just a suggestion, perhaps you could buy a gift certificate now online, particularly if they have it available, use it at a different date, but that will at least get the cash flow to continue for those establishments and businesses.
I love that idea. That's a wonderful idea. I see Dr. Garber is on here. This is my dentist, everyone. One of the best dentists around East Providence. He's at Friends and Family Dental. And his question is, anything we can do to help with relaying route information to our patients and neighbors? I would tell, Dr. Garber, I would tell your patients that traffic is moving rather smoothly through by your business. I was driving by there earlier today at 7:30 and traffic was moving pretty smooth. I would just ask residents, and I hope people who are visiting our businesses understand that just leave a little earlier, add more time to your travel plan so that you can get to your local businesses. Don't be canceling your appointments if you don't have to. Absolutely cancel your appointment. And we want to continue supporting our small businesses and get them the help they need. All right. Any other questions that we may miss? Lieutenant Governor, did you want to say a few words before we go?
Yes, I just want to remind all the business owners to please document everything, document any loss that you're having. We are going to do everything we can. If there's any opportunity for us to find resources through the federal government, any resources that we can bring back to help you, we want to do that. But in order to do that, we're going to need to have the actual documented information that tell us what the losses were that you had during this period. So please continue to document the losses. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I appreciate you being here with us today. Director Mark Hayward, any last words?
Yeah, ditto on what the Lieutenant Governor just said. Documentation is going to be critical to getting additional resources, including any potential future loans at a low interest rate. In addition, Mayor, I want to also, implore people to, if you need technical assistance, we have the experts to help you. You can email me at mark.hayward, hayward@sba.gov, and we'll make sure that it gets off to our resource partners at SCORE, the SBDC, and the Women's Center. But there is help available right now if you need it from a technical assistance standpoint, and hopefully we'll resolve the issue on a potential disaster declaration in the next 48 hours.
And once again, I do want to recognize, before I go to Lori White, I do want to recognize that our federal delegation has submitted a letter to the Small Business Administration Assistance for Local Business squeezed by the Washington Bridge closure. They sent a letter and they sent us a copy. So we are working very closely with Senator Reed, Senator White, Congressman Amo, and Congressman Amo and Congressman Seth Magaziner. So we're working closely with them to try to get us whatever relief we can. Lori?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to conclude by saying this is obviously still a very fluid and dynamic situation, and I'm grateful that everyone has this opportunity to get together on such short notice and provide resources to our small businesses. So we will continue to stay in touch, and obviously anything that the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce can do to assist you, Mayor, or you, Laura, with your East Providence membership, we stand by and are ready to help.
Thank you, Lori.
Patricia, is there anything you want to share with the community before we go? We're going to post all this stuff, all this information that was shared with us today. Where we're going to post it so people can find it.
So again, if you go to eastprovidenceri.gov, we have the emergency alert bar at the top, and we're updating that daily with attachments from RIDOT, with maps, we will put the link to this archived recording as well. The form for businesses to fill out is there as well. I would also implore all of our business owners, if you haven't already, to sign up for our newsletter. You can do that by going onto our website, again, eastprovinceri.gov, for all of our information that we try to get out, and also register for Code Red. That's all for me.
Thank you. I hope we were able to get to everyone. There were a lot of questions. I hope I didn't miss anybody by accident. I do see Joe Corsi. He's got a strategic K-9 training school. We train at the facility and travel to clients around the state. I'm just trying to stay up to date with my current clients. We've had to cancel all traveling clients since the bridge being closed. The only thing I can say to you, Joe, is once again, I was out traveling today and it was a remarkable difference. Tomorrow, students will be back in school. I anticipate you'll see more traffic on the road, but I also think it's not going to be like day one. When we got hit with the situation and we had to react rather quickly, we didn't have a full plan that was tested in place. And we were able to put a plan in place on short notice with 2 hours notice, put a plan in place, and then we reassessed and reformulated the plan. And now I honestly believe we've got things under control. I'll be on the road in a little bit to go check things out here in our city. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos. I know she's busy. Laura McNamara, Lori White, Patricia, and everybody who joined us here today. I hope this was a helpful Zoom webinar, and we hope that you take advantage of whatever resources we can put together for you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night and stay safe.